So we decided to record a video together today because I read something that was said by the CEO of Anthropic yesterday. And he said that humanities and studying humanities is going to become infinitely more valuable than studying STEM. And that led me to think, as a young parent of a relatively young child, this one's 4, of what skills should I be embedding in him given that AI is now our reality. Everything that you're going to hear today is backed up by the World Bank Job Readiness Assessment 2025. It's backed up by what the founders of Andreessen Horowitz have said. It's backed up, for example, by what CEOs of Anthropic and OpenAI have said. So here's where the world is heading. We're heading towards a world where AI will be able to outperform human beings on everything that is 2 plus 2. Everything that is logic-based, everything that is STEM-based, everything that is overly analytical, mathematical is going to be done infinitely better than artificial intelligence. So, especially in countries where the job options given to children are you either become an engineer or a lawyer, even though the percentage of that has gone down dramatically. But parents, particularly young parents with little children, have a choice to make. Where do you invest in terms of your child's skills and education given this AI reality? And here's my take on this. After having extensively read up, after being an AI practitioner, after having run an AI company for almost a year now, this is what I think you should be investing in. The number one skill that your child needs to have is public speaking and effective communication. And the reason I say that is that unless your child knows, no matter how good your idea is, if the person does not know what message to speak in what room, how to change your tone and message based on the audience in front of you, there is no way that you're going to be able to succeed. It is so critical to be able to communicate well because that is something that artificial intelligence is not going to take away from human beings for a relatively long amount of time. The number 2 skill set that your child absolutely needs to develop and that you need to invest in heavily is emotional intelligence. It's not about IQ anymore. AI is going to beat you there. Emotional intelligence. Can he empathize? Can she empathize? When the team is in crisis, are they going to be trained to be a person who steps in and builds a team, who takes the emotion and anxiety out of a problem and drives an organization forward? Are they able to relate to people from diverse backgrounds, speak in their tone, speak in their language, think emotionally? I think emotional intelligence is going to be really, really important. This one's going to be a little hard to swallow. You need to make sure that your child becomes a generalist and not a specialist. AI excels at specialist tasks. So, and this is counterintuitive because our modus operandi as parents, and I can speak about my parents, has always been to make sure that your children specialize. Whether they're engineers, they have to be a specialist engineer. Whether they're doctors, they need to go into a particular specialization. The world is going to belong to generalists who are able to connect the dots across professions, across industries, across different skill sets and use AI and their specialist capabilities in order to build solutions nobody could have fathomed. Another tip that I'd like to give parents is focus on philosophy, focus on literature. These are things that AI is not going to be able to replicate as well as human beings. They are going to be able to write better formulas. They're probably going to be able to make scientific discoveries faster than us. They're even going to be able to solve legal problems and come up with better strategies than human beings. Writing a philosophy piece, writing a poem, writing a piece of literature that is remembered for generations, that's something that is going to be uniquely human. Careers that are going to be AI-proof, I'm not saying they're not going to be completely replaced by artificial intelligence, AI-proof. If you're exploring the legal profession, think about becoming a mediator where you can read the emotions in a room and try to reduce those temperatures between the parties and try and come up with a settlement, because reading a room is something that AI is not going to be able to do. And finally, I would honestly invest as much as you possibly can into physical activity and education, because what if these robots come after you and you have to run really, really fast? So Ibrahim's taking his boxing class these days and he's trying to really develop his running muscles. All of the skills that I'm telling you, being a generalist, public speaking, emotional intelligence, these are all ranked as some of the highest skills that are predicted to dominate the market by 2030. So when you're deciding programs for your children, when you're deciding universities for your children, please make sure that you take into account that AI is here to stay and it is causing disruptions bigger than what we can possibly imagine. Ibrahim, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Astronaut.
Astronaut. Well, we'll have to see how AI-proof that is.